Okay, chicas, you guys are going to be doing downwinding in the northeast of Brazil. So basically, you're going to fly into Fortaleza, and I'm going to be talking about all of these places going downwind because here the wind blows from the right to the left, pretty much almost parallel to the shoreline. But I'm going to try to talk about all this stuff in chronological downwinding order. But there's a lot of information, so bear with me. So basically, you guys are going to fly into Fortaleza, and you're going to take a Uber to Cumbuco. That's the easiest way. There's free Wi-Fi in the airport. Easiest thing to do. So since we're keeping this in chronological order, basically, almost all of these, not almost all, but most of these places where it's very easy to get the bus coming back to Cumbuco for the cheapest possible downwinding options, they're going to come right here. One of these two bus terminals with Guanabara bus. So the Guanabara bus, Bada, just like that. That is the bus app. So with that bus, they will return to Fortaleza. There's a couple stops in Fortaleza, but they're most likely going to stop at, well, not most likely, they will stop. The first stop in Fortaleza is one of these two. And basically, you're going to get off the bus there, and you're going to take a taxi or an Uber if you have one to the center of Caucaia, right here, because Caucaia has a free bus going to Cumbuco. But we'll talk about that in more detail as I go over all these things. But these two spots, basically you're going to take an Uber to Caucaia, Caucaia to Cumbuco. So now, starting with downwinding options, basically the first spot that you're going to go, that you would start your downwinding would be Cumbuco. And as far as places to stay in Cumbuco, basically there's a couple hostels. There is Indiana Hostel, which is very close to the beach. Basically you're closest to Dudo Beach right there, which has a really good compressor, but the vibe is not as good as Kite Cabana. Kite Cabana is the place to be as far as kiting in Cumbuco. Indiana, it's the biggest hostel, but you're not going to get any sleep at all because they play very loud music till like 2 a.m. And they also play music with like heavy bass first thing in the morning. Just my opinion. Where I like to stay if I'm staying at a hostel is at Bada, where I'm actually at right now, taking this video here at Bada with El Guido. And basically, got a pool, nice little yard, and whatnot. And this is all in one take, so basically, doing this super easy. No time editing, right, Guido? So, if I'm staying at a hostel in Cumbuco, this is my preferred place to stay. Good breakfast and everything like that. And basically, what you do is you would walk to Kite Cabana right there. But as far as downwinding goes, basically you have two lagoons in Cumbuco. Upwind, you've got the Tabuba Lagoon, and downwind, you've got the Cauipe Lagoon. But if you're just going to be kiting in Cumbuco, you're just going beep, 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 just like that. But if you want to take the free bus that goes from Cumbuco to Caucaia, you can hop on the bus right here. And it's pretty much like every 15 minutes or so. It's a really good bus. And if you want to take it upwind a little bit, you can take it to Tabuba, or you can take it to any of these cabanas, whatever. But if you want to kite at Tabuba, you are going to go just on the other side of the only bridge, and you're going to get off, and then you're going to walk along that dirt. You're going to cross the tiny little shallow area of the pond, and you can start kiting right there. And you can pretty much borrow a pump every single day. Just a little street view so you know where to get off. There's the bridge. You cross the bridge, you pull the little string on the bus, and you get out. And you're gonna know that it's the place to get out because you just look out the left window and you got all the kites right there. So pretty easy. Also, more details with this bus to and from Kumbuko and Caucaia that is free, because you're going to be using this bus a lot as far as if you're trying to do downwinding over and over and over again for the cheapest amount of money possible. The bus from Kumbuko goes to Caucaia. And it goes exactly, this is the end of the bus stop. If you're taking the bus from Kumbuko to Caucaia, which most of you would not do, you're going to be taking it the other way. You're going to take it from this exact spot, right here. This wall is no longer here. They knocked this down. This is an open plaza and stuff like that. But all of the buses basically wait right here, and you hop on the bus that says Kumbuko on it. And just to double check, you ask the driver, no problem. And it's free, like I said. Also, if you want to get your teeth cleaned while you are here in Brazil, you can go to this dentist right here, and I think it was like 70 reais, which is like $13 or $14. It's right here. This is no longer whatever this thing is. It's a dental office. Nicolas, very good dentist there. So, but basically you guys are going to hop on that bus from Caucaia and go to Kumbuko. Sometimes some of your long buses coming back to the Kumbuko, Caucaia, Fortaleza area will drop you off at another spot or near another spot, and you can get on the bus right here. This is also a major bus stop. It's literally the first bus stop from Caucaia to Kumbuko, and basically you wait right there because the bus goes from here around the corner and one more corner right there, and then it goes to Kumbuko. So basically, let's say you guys are going from, would be an example, Paracuru. You did a downwinder to Paracuru and you're coming back. You're going to take a bus coming back, and it'll drop you off in the center of Caucaia. And then you're going, and you tell them, Centro de Caucaia, because if you just tell them Caucaia, they might drop you off on the main road right there. But there's also a bus stop right here. I should add that one as well, because just in case. Bus stop. Bus stop to Kumbuko. Make sure you're on that side of the street. It goes around the roundabout and all the way back. So, some of the buses, though, if you're coming back from Ilha de Guajiru, Iterema, something like that, your big bus, Guanabara, is going to drop you off. Basically, it goes to Fortaleza, and the first stop is either at this bus terminal or it'll drop you off at this bus terminal. But you don't want to pay for a taxi to take you all the way back to Kumbuko because that's too much money. So what you can do is you can take a taxi or an Uber if you actually brought your phone. I never carry my phone. But you can take it to the center of Caucaia, just like a 5-minute ride. Maybe you can negotiate the price a little bit. Take it to the center of Caucaia, right there, and then you take the free bus from Caucaia to Kumbuko. So, now that we've covered kind of the Caucaia, Fortaleza area, basically the downwind, you could start it from Tabuba, but if you're going to be doing a long downwinder, you're going to walk from your hostel to wherever you want to start kiting, and you're going downwindy, baby. And so, I did not mention Cauipe, but some of you guys can do a little downwindy to Cauipe right here. This is a bigger lagoon than Tabuba, and basically this is like the beginner area, and this is the more advanced area. This is where there's like a whole ton of professional kiteboarders and stuff like that. But you can do a downwinder, go past the lagoon a little bit, and then exit right here, because there are rocks right there, and right there. Also, you only want to do, well, going to Kauipe is not really that long of a downwinder, but when you're doing these long downwinders, downwingies, you only really want to do it at low tide. High tide, just trust me on it. You just want to do it at low tide because it's nice and flat. And it's basically like riding on a lagoon the whole way down, assuming that you're good enough to ride right along the shore. So, pretty much, you can return from Kauipe by buggy. The buggies hang out right here, but they'll also be kind of like all over the place. It is 100 reais, or basically $20 to return from Kauipe in a buggy. And you can fit 4 people plus the driver, and all of your kite stuff. That's no problem in the buggy. Definitely do it one time. But pretty much now it's more serious downwinding, because to Kauipe is for kind of beginners, I would say. It's really not that long. I can kite there maybe in like 12 minutes if I'm going at normal speed, because I go downwind fast, looping pretty much every single transition. So now I'm going to talk about downwinding in a kind of more if you're really good sense, but then I'm going to go over all these ones as well. So my favorite distance for downwinding in one day is 60 kilometers. And if at the bottom of the screen, right where that blue dot is, you see that scale, it says 2 miles or 5 kilometers. 60K is roughly to Guajiru. Well, it's only showing 50, but Guajiru. So basically what I like to do if I'm going to do multiple day downwingies, what I do is I go from Kumbuko to Guajiru, not Ilha de Guajiru, Guajiru, and then I sleep there and I do Guajiru to Ilha de Guajiru. Where's that? Ilha de Guajiru, and I stay in Itarema, and then I do Ilha de Guajiru to Jeri, or Jeri Coquara, sleep in Jeri, Jeri to Bitupita, the last beach in Ceara, and then I return by bus from there. That is absolutely perfect for me, but we'll talk about this step by step. So, pretty much, if you want to go one step farther than Kauipe, there's going to be this big, huge port in your way. But that's no problem. Basically, as you're going down the beach, it'd be better with another person, but one option is you can go underneath the pier. You land your kite, wrap up your lines and everything like that. You walk underneath the pier to right here. And then you relaunch your kite. Don't go inland too much because it's kind of protected from the wind. Keep in mind that the wind blows pretty much like the wind blows like that, at that angle, more or less. So if you can imagine being in this whole area, it's kind of protected from the wind from this bridge, right? So if you were to go underneath the bridge, kind of start making your way out to water. But I prefer going around the port. And what you should do is before you go around the port, you should rest. And so basically come onto land. Don't have to land your kite, but you should go onto land, stretch out, get some nice stretches going, go pee if you need to, but definitely stretch a good amount because you're going to be on the water for at least 20 minutes, I would say. And basically what you want to do is you want to take a nice steady angle, aiming for the edge of the port right there, which is very easy to see. It's only, what, like 2K out there, more or less. So, I mean, you can easily go way, I've gone maybe like 15K out into open ocean before, just kind of see what was out there. But take a nice, easy angled approach. Don't be jumping and stuff like that. Conserve your energy as you're making your way out there. And then when you're out there, you're going to go doot, 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 doot. No looping the kite, no toe side while you're out there. You're playing it safe because you don't want to get hurt or anything like that. But it's totally safe to do it. There's even a picture out here of a guy kiteboarding. He's got his kite right. Do it, Tony. I would not go this close to the port, but that's up to you. But it's totally safe out there, nothing crazy. And then when you go around the port, keep in mind this lizard just jumped and landed on this couch right next to me. When you go around the port, don't cut in right away because this is all wind protected. So kind of take an angle more or less like, take an angle. Oi, tudo bem. Take an angle like that to get to land. And once you pass this port, then you're okay to loop the kite and do toe side and whatnot, because you're totally safe. If anything was to happen, you would just slowly drift back to land right there. Okay, and now this is where the downwinding starts to get very, very, very good. Because of the angle of the wind being, I didn't save the picture, but because of the angle of the wind going pretty much directly from the right of my screen and your screen to the left, the angle, and I'll draw it out because it'll make it a lot for you people who can't comprehend. So the wind is going like so. And so basically, if you're riding heel side exactly like that, this shoreline right here is really close to it. It's just like the perfect angle to enjoy right on shore. It's a next level experience, and you will know why. All of the spots where the shoreline goes up like that, it's the best riding for the whole downwinding experience. So a shoreline like that, a shoreline like that. The best area is actually the pretty much right here, Lagoinha area. This whole thing, because it curves up, and then it'll be a little wind protected area, and then it curves up, and then it curves up, and then it's wind protected, and then it curves up again. All those spots where it curves up is the best quality of downwinding. Not negotiable. I'm just telling you, it is totally the best stuff. So after the Port of Passem, basically, if you want to take the first kind of longer distance bus back to Cumbuco, you would get to the town of Taiba. You guys know Taiba because of the lagoon right here. Famous lagoon. Very good. But basically, if you want to take the bus from Taiba to Cumbuco, if you are out on the water, don't know if there's any pictures of it. Oh, maybe there is. There is a spot where, this doesn't show it. Maybe this one will. So this is very low tide. There's a spot where you're going along the ocean and then it curves inward. This is actually not labeled totally, well, it is kind of a little bit. But basically, where it curves inward, that's where you would want to stop. So, and as you're doing this downwinder, it's all fun, and then right over here there's some rocks, but it's very obvious from when you're in the water, and you should only be doing this at low tide. But as you see, and you guys can study this map by yourself, but as you see the land curves inward, that's where you would stop. And there is a pink, it's got the details right here for you guys, so basically there is a pink colored kite bar, kite cabana type thingy, totally visible from the water. Maybe there's some kites there as well. Kumbuko is by far the most popular kiting place, but there's probably some kites here as well. And basically you get out at the pink bar, you walk through the bar, and you walk like, so basically you guys would be coming from the beach. You would walk through the bar, and then you're going to turn right, and you're going to walk like 20 meters, and you're going to wait underneath this very nice shade tree. I can show you right here. That is not the right spot as far as the labeling is concerned. You're going to wait. This tree is much bigger, and this picture is really old. This picture is from 4 years ago. But basically, this tree has grown significantly. But you can just ask a person where the bus stop is. Estação de Ônibus. And then you can take that bus from Taiba to Caucaia, and it was 12 reais. So basically like $2.50. Sorry this video is taking long. I'm trying to like literally give you all the information possible because there is a lot. Because you can do these downwinding trips for super budget friendly versus paying thousands of dollars, which is also an option. But hey, up to you. So basically, if you were to keep going, you got Taiba Lagoon right here. During low tide, very nice. During high tide, you're looking at rocks coming down this whole thing. So don't do high tide. Also, high tide, the waves are crashing right on the beach. It's not smooth. It's like little bombs going off. And so you keep on going, and eventually you're going to get to Quebra-Mar, basically Paracuru. This is where everyone kites in Paracuru. There's very good waves out here. Tons of turtles as well. So this is pretty much 2 hours of downwinding to Quebra-Mar. And you could take a taxi back from here, but you're looking at probably like $60 US. You could also take a taxi from there to the center. Don't know how much that would be, and you can take a bus from the center back to Caucaia. But what I like to do if I'm just doing a short downwinder to Paracuru is I go past Quebra-Mar, and now basically because of the angle of the wind and stuff like that, you're going to be in open ocean. There's a tiny little pier right here, but you're going to be in open ocean for maybe like 20 minutes or something like that, looping the kite and whatnot. And pretty much right when you land at the first beach, or basically the first beach that you get close to shore, you would stop right there, and you can walk along the street right here, and you can go to this spot right here. Let's see if there's a street view. And so you walk from there to this intersection right here. There's a bunch of cashew trees. Let's see if we can see any cashews. That might be a cashew right there. But basically, a cashew tree, wipe off your board, smile to everyone that's coming from this direction, put your thumb out and say you want a ride to Rodoviária. That looks like a cashew right there. And if you don't know what a cashew is, well, I'm not going to show you because this is taking too long already. But basically, what you can do is you can go with your ride from there to the Rodoviária right here. And the bus hours, basically like 3, 4, 6, right there, 20 eyes, and it'll take you to Caucaia. Tell them you want to go to Caucaia, and you can return basically 2-hour downwinder for $4. So, but we keep on going past Paracuru, and and then you keep going north. Very good quality downwinding right here. And then the next place that you would see is Lagoinha. And basically, you'll know Lagoinha because it's kind of elevated a little bit. You're actually going to be in open ocean for a little bit because it's wind protected right there. Not that far, I'm talking like maybe 300 meters or something like that. And you'll know Lagoinha because it's kind of like a hill, and there's a massive construction project going on over there. Hang on, let's see if we can get closer. Not that. Hang on. This is past it. That's not labeled at the right spot. Hang on. You'll know you're at Lagoinha because of this massive thing that they're building up there. But as you can see, Lagoinha is kind of like on a hillside. A lot of the stuff is flat, this whole downwinding. But this is how you'll know you're at Lagoinha. And once you pass, or basically once you get to land right there, it is very, very, very good quality. Probably the best quality downwinding of the trip. And then you get to Guajiru. This is where I like to sleep. So after one full day of downwinding, you will stop at the first kite bar looking thing just past Lagoinha. Kite bar, look for things like that. If they've got another one of those flags blowing in the wind, nah, can't see it. But basically there's a little stream coming out, but there's little things like that at many places. But kind of keep your eye on the shoreline after the Lagoinha area and look for anything that looks like it's blowing in the wind like that, or like, I'm going to show you another example just to show you what to look this might have it over here. Hang on. Bear with me. I know Street View. Give me one sec. So that I can show you guys what to look for. If you guys can find one of it's far, but one of those things, like Kekabana might have one. Don't see one. Okay, we'll look for anything that says like core or duotoni or ion. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So basically, Guajiru, where I like to stop for my first night of sleep. I stop right at this little cabana right here. They'll help you land your kite. I believe there's also a compressor. But if you walk, so now you're going to be walking inland. You walk inland, how far? 50 meters? Yeah, 50 meters. So you walk inland 50 meters, and then there might even be a street view. There is. Okay. Then you're going to walk to the right a tiny bit, and I literally mean a tiny bit, and you're going to look for Posada Bons Amigos. Posada, good friends. And it is right here. Don't remember how much it was per night, but I think it's less than 100 reais. Includes breakfast as well. Basically sleep there. That's the best option, in my opinion, for sleeping in Guajiru. Air conditioning as well. And if you want to eat, you can. There's a little pizza place right here, but I wouldn't suggest it. There's a pizza place right here. You can cross a tiny little bridge where that stream is, and at night the frogs are so loud they sound like motorcycles. But as you're walking towards the center plaza, which is right here, there is a very special spot that sells pastels right here. And basically, here in this pastel place, which is also these people's house, there is a female Brazilian version of Eric Cartman. this girl is so obnoxious and so rude to her family. It's like watching a comedy TV show. She's like, kind of crazy. I was like holding in my laughter. Didn't know everything that was going on, but you could totally tell that her parents were very, very, very annoyed with her behavior. Definitely a sight to see if you're in Guajidu. So, there we go. We even got a kite off in the distance. So basically you're going to sleep at your Posada Bons Amigos right there. And then you're going to continue the next day. And so you can pump up your kite right there. And then you're going downwinding. Very good quality stuff. And then you're going to pass flecheras. Flecheras, there's not much going on. But if you really wanted to, you could pass flecheras and sleep at the next place, which is this kite bar. And I used to stop here, but I prefer stopping in flecheras. And this is not going to show it on the beach, unfortunately. But let's, hang on, you can probably see it. It's going to be hard. Well, okay. As the thing that I was saying earlier that you should look for things like that. But as you're going, so this is the kite spot if you're in Flecheras. As you're going down the beach, the ocean curves in a little bit, and there's a bunch of rocks right there. So you go around the rocks. Totally easy to see, totally safe. Just go around them, and then you're going to see people kiting right here. This is the kite spot in Flecheras. But you could stop in Flecheras. You could sleep right here for 100 reais if you would like. I've done it before, but I wouldn't suggest it. Just my personal opinion. You sleep right in through that orange, white doorway on the orange thingy, and you can eat burgers literally right there. No Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi at the supermarket, right next to it. Wi-Fi, right there. But, so, you're continuing on in your downwinding adventure, and, basically good quality stuff going down, and you keep on going, good quality as it curves up, and keep on going. And some of these areas are pretty much the most beautiful as far as how the water looks, and because some of it's protected by reefs and it's totally flat water. It looks like something out of Kenya or Zanzibar and stuff like that. Bright blue. But you keep on going, and then you're going to get to Icaraí de Amontada, or Icaraízinho. As far as anything from Cumbuco all the way to Achins or Lençóis Maranhenses, or this place that has thousands and thousands of lagoons, where they filmed part of the Avengers movie, whatever that one was called, don't remember, Endgame. Icaraí is the most beautiful place. And there's two places to kite in Icaraí. Basically, this one place that's called The Spot, but I don't suggest it because during high tide, the water is like literally right there. You're going to be launching your kite in the water. They built too close to the beach. What I prefer, and keep in mind, this whole section is protected by wind. The wind starts down here, Cabana do Cais. The nicest kite cabana place in all of Brazil, or at least most beautiful in all of Brazil. Reasonably priced food as well. See if I got a better picture. Hang on. We're going to. Sorry if you. Hang on. Looks like this on the inside. Well, a couple sections. We all had COVID in that thing. But this is the most beautiful place. If you want to sleep here as well, you can do it. I'm not going to suggest a place to sleep. I do it in the center of town. This would be more of a place to spend some time, in my opinion. So kind of hard to spend time at a place where you're doing a downwinder unless you have a backpack. I don't like going with a backpack. Show you a picture from the beach because it's so beautiful. I would like to... Okay, this looks like they kind of edited the colors a little bit. But you got all these windmills right there, pretty flat water. It's a crappy looking picture. But trust me, it's the most beautiful one. They just need to grow the town a little bit because there's street food in the center of town, but only on Saturdays. But you can get moqueca de ajaya, stingray, very good. And so you keep on going, and then as far as night 2 for where to sleep, I like to sleep at Ilha de Guajiru. You guys have heard about it, but let me talk about this one other place. The best lagoon in all of Brazil, in my opinion, Lagoa dos Patos. You need a car to get here, unfortunately, though. But you can also get to it, so you can get to it from Icaraí, Icaraízinho, Icaraí de Montada. You can also get to it from Ilha de Guajiru. If you're coming from Icaraí, you're going to actually cross a tiny little river with your car. But they've got a little moving, right there, Porto de Chico Branco. And basically you put your car on this little floating raft and they pull you across. I don't remember how much it was. I don't think it was too much though. But you can go to Lagoa dos Patos, Lagoon of Ducks. And basically right here they've got all these cows and donkeys walking around this lagoon and everything like that. And what was crazy about this lagoon is it's they kind of made it for fishing and stuff like that. And they basically put all these perfectly straight lines of these certain plants in the water. And these plants are kind of sharp. They don't cut you or anything, but they feel kind of funny. But these plants have all these bubbles coming up off of them. And so there's all these lines of perfect lines of bubbles in this lagoon. And it looks like how if you were to see a freshly mowed lawn of grass with all those lines in it, that's what it looks like on this lagoon. Very crazy looking, very good wind. And when it starts to get drier and drier, when these lagoons start to shrink a little bit, don't know exactly which little strait it is, but it was basically 2 lagoons connected by, actually there it is right there, basically 2 lagoons connected by this tiny little section right here, and you can go upwind, 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 all the way into the second lagoon. That was actually a lot of fun. And then you can ride in that second lagoon right there. There might be a third lagoon depending on how, when in the season you were there. But definitely the best lagoon in all of the northeast of Brazil, without a doubt. Also, right near there, if you do have a car and you do go to Lagoa dos Patos, you should get your picture taken right here. You would drive on this road if you were coming from Ilha de Guajiru, and you can get a picture that looks exactly like that right there. Make sure you get a little bit of brown dirt around your sombrero, make it look super cool. But that is the road going to Lagoa dos Patos from Ilha de Guajiru. Definitely a photo spot. So keep on going, and then keep on going, and then so Ilha de Guajiru. Keep in mind that you're doing this at low tide. Ilha de Guajiru, you cannot kite in during low tide because it is connected to the ocean, and during low tide there is no water. So if you're planning on going to Ilha de Guajiru and looking at Wind Guru, where you would check all of the wind and stuff like that. It was stormy today in Kumbuko, so yeah, only 8 knots right now, but it was raining all morning. So basically this thing at the bottom where it's red and green, that is the tide. and it tells you the hours. And so if you're planning on doing a week in Ilha de Guajidu when it's low tide during the majority of the day, you're not going to be kiting, just to let you know. But as you're going down, basically, I don't know how to describe exactly when Ilha de Guajidu is, other than, yeah, it's going to be a hard one to describe. Maybe you will see a kite, but you just, let's see if there's a picture on the, no picture on the beach. So you cannot see Ilha de Guajidu when you are on the water, but the sand has a little bank and stuff like that. So as you're going down, and there's a long area that has kind of a sand bank, that's probably going to be Ilha de Guajidu. But you could play it safe. You could exit the water, look right here, and if you see a big lagoon that's totally dry, that's Ilha de Guajidu. And so you might be able to kite a tiny bit, but you're going to be walking through kind of sandy mud if you were to end your second day of kiting, because keep in mind, I kite from Cumbuco to Guajidu. I sleep in Guajidu, Guajidu to Ilha de Guajidu, and then I like to sleep in Itarema because it's a lot cheaper than Ilha de Guajidu. But if you want to get to Itarema, basically in Ilha de Guajidu, there's only one way in and one way out. So you wait right here, and you can either take a motor taxi or you can hitchhike. There's a business here now. This is not an empty field, but you can wait in the shade. To take a motor taxi to Itarema, I believe, is 20 reais, so $5. But you're carrying your board, and you're carrying your kite, and you're carrying your kite wrapped inside your harness, and it's not the most fun experience. So I prefer to hitchhike, and you just say you want to go to the rodoviária, the bus station. And basically what you do, let's flip it around. You're going to, and they'll just take you, and you'll go, actually this is kind of a cool area. Basically big lagoon, some cows might be walking through the water and whatnot. And then basically, if they don't know how to get to the bus station, you can tell them. Because right when you get to the town, this first street right here, you're going to take a right until you cannot go any farther, right to here. And then when the road splits, you're going to go left until it gets to the main road. And the bus stop is right there. Let's get you a picture. That is the bus stop. It's something else back in the day. This was, hang on. Oh, they added another door. That's why. Because there's another door on the side that they opened for some air, I guess. But basically the bus stop is right there. Guanabara. You can buy your ticket in person. You have to have an ID. So just like your driver's license is okay. And cash or your credit card, fine. If you're going to be returning from Itarema to Fortaleza, it's going to take you to right there, one of these two spots, and you would, because Itarema is one of the big places if you want to come back. It's going to drop you off right there. You can take an Uber or a taxi to the center of Caucaia, and then you take the free bus back to Cumbuco. Cumbuco is the best place to hang out of all these places. Ilha de Guajidu literally has nothing at night. It's just posadas and a couple restaurants, and there's not that many. There's like 12. So, but if you want to sleep in Itarema, because there's a lot more to do in Itarema than there is in Ilha de Guajidu, basically the bus stop is right there. I walk to this green posada, whatever, and it is 80 reais or $18. I think it's $18. Includes breakfast. Right next to the bus stop as well. This big green thing, you can't miss it. There's also a pizza place, basically sharing the same building. There's also more food options at night in Itarema. And then you can try to hitchhike back, but it's going to be harder to hitchhike from here unless you were to go to all the way over there. But you can go back to Ilha de Guajidu the next day and continue your downwinding adventure. But you're downwinding during low tide, which is totally fine. You're going to enter, and then, because as I said, then you can't kite in the lagoon during low tide. There's a very small sliver of space to kite during low tide. So basically you're going down, and you're going to keep on going. And this is not curved up a whole ton like the shoreline as far as something like this. So it's not you're riding hillside, super hardcore or anything like that. But this whole area from Ilha de Guajidu to Praia, and Praia is right there. From Ilha de Guajidu to Praia, which is a distance of roughly 50 kilometers, this is a humongous fishing area. And the water is pretty much like from shoreline to pretty much like 1.5K, maybe 2K out into open water. The shoreline or the water is pretty much only like a foot deep. Pretty crazy. No waves or anything like that. But a humongous fishing area. You're going to be seeing all these fishing traps the whole way down. Very unique. It's not my favorite to kite, but it's extremely unique. All the way to Praia. Some people like Praia. I don't think it's anything special. The town itself is nothing special. But basically where all the kites are in Praia, right here. I'll put a little label, but I think this is, 6 years ago. That's why it's not showing it. But basically, there's going to be a whole ton of kite flags and everything like that right out there. There's not water here anymore. But this is where you could get lunch if you want, get some water, and enjoy yourself a little bit. One thing I forgot to mention, on the first day of downwinding, when you do Cumbuco to Guajidu, Cumbuco, keep on going, what I do is I stop and I eat lunch and hydrate extremely in Quebra-Mar in Paracuru. Definitely suggest doing that because from Cumbuco to Guajidu is roughly 4 hours kiting. So basically you've made your way to Praia, you can get lunch, hydrate some, and then you're going to go, let me drop a little label. I'm not going to drop a label because I'm not. That's why. But basically, you keep on going, and then you get to around the corner of Jericoacoara. Keep in mind, the wind is blowing. Here, it's actually blowing slightly offshore. But this whole area in here is somewhat wind protected. So you're going to go around, and you're going to see this big, huge sand dune. See if you can get a picture. Kind of like a famous Brazil thingy, but big, huge sand dune. And there's the town of Jeri. And you're going to come from around that corner, and you are going to land your kite right on the backside of the sand dune right here. Land your kite, and you're going to walk to town in Jeri. And so I sleep in Jeri. Jeri is not as nice as it used to be. Way too touristy. But basically, you walk, or if you're lucky, you can hitchhike into town. But if you're not lucky, you're going to walk This is like during extreme wet season. This is pretty much dry. But you're going to walk along the beach to the main street in Jitty. There's going to be little bars, people selling drinks and whatnot. Right here, there's, maybe it's not, yeah, right here, basically little drink stands. They kind of form like a U shape, kind of like their own little plaza, I guess you could say. And where I sleep is at a hostel right along this main street. You do not deviate. You go, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. You're going to pass a little coconut place, but you keep on going until the hostel is on the left, right there. And from the street, it is that. So look for something like that. It's the best bang for buck hostel. Breakfast is included. You can sleep there. Plenty of food options in Jitty. I would not suggest taking a bus back from Jitty because number one, you're going to have to pay a fair amount of money to go across the sand dune to Jidoka de Jitty, where the bus is going to be, and then you're going to take the bus from there. So it's not ideal to take a bus back from Jitty. But from Jitty, you can go to Bitupita or Kamosin, where it's very easy to come back by bus. And so the next day, probably want to save your energy before you kite, so unfortunately you're going to have to take a buggy. You don't have to, but better idea. You can negotiate the price, see if you can get it down to 100 reais, $20 to go from there to there. Overpriced, don't pay more than 100. You can get it. Ask a couple buggies. And so basically you're going to start, you're going to do your downwind, and this, because of the angle, it's not the best downwinding. It really is not. You're going to pass Guriu, which is a nice little super flat water, pretty damn strong wind. I think the strongest wind, actually. Second strongest, I would say, out of the whole way. These people do kite loops, and they jump across like the entire little strait, almost killing themselves, it seems like, or all about to. Nah, this is on someone's buggy. But had a crazy experience in Guriu one time. And then you keep on going, that's not Tatajuba, Tatajuba right here. But you keep on going, and eventually there's going to be this big opening of water. But you don't want to wait till the very last second to get to here. And you're going to basically see where it opens up when you're all the way over here. And you're going to do an angled approach to aim from roughly this area to roughly that area. And this is some very, very big waves. This whole river coming out into the ocean creates an area that's not fun. I wouldn't say big waves, I would say chaotic waves that kind of come out from nowhere, where it's just like, it's safe, take your time. So don't try to stop here. You're going to go past it and then keep on going. And if you wanted to stop basically around a big corner like that, you're going to see a kite bar with some of those kite flags, as I mentioned, out. You might see some people kiting as well. It's probably going to be the first place after this huge opening where you're going to see people kiting. So basically you can stop right here and you can walk to right here, because from right here there's only one road going to and from right there to and from Kamosin. Kamosin has a whole ton of buses going to and from Fortaleza pretty much every single hour. Buses right there. You can check the Wanabara app before doing your whole trip to kind of look at the times for the buses and whatnot. And if you can hitchhike to right there, you're good to return to Fortaleza. Take that take that little taxi from there to Caucaia, free bus to Kumbuko. And so you can stop there if you want, but you can keep on going to Bitupita. This is my favorite place to stop after doing a day from Kumbuko, Guajiru, Ilha de Guajiru, Jiri, Bitupita, the last beach in Ceara. And so basically it'd be this last somewhat large opening after that crazy one in Camosim. And in Bitupita, this is just like a little fishing village. But my best downwinding friend lives right here. Let's see if there's any pictures. There's one restaurant that's, so here basically you got the main street, but there's one restaurant on the beach side of this as well. It's not being shown, but there's one little restaurant. My friend lives, where is it? It's not built. It's right there though. He's got a little balcony and stuff like that. Yell up to him, Dada, downwindy, and he'll be all about it. I believe he also has a posada that you can stay at in Bitupita. He might have a hostel as well. He's got like 3 properties there. But I will, in the description, leave his WhatsApp if you would like to stay at his place, if he's okay with it. I don't know. Didn't ask him. But you can totally sleep here. And basically you can walk over here. They actually have all of the beaches labeled in all of Ceara. It's kind of cool. But at this exact spot right here on the map, there is a bus in the morning. Let's look at the times. 5:40 a.m., 6:20, and basically 1 in the afternoon, more or less, from Bitupita to Camosim, basically to the bus stop in Camosim, and I believe that's 20 reais, like $4 or something like that, and then from Camosim to Fortaleza, super easy. So that's my favorite thing to do, but you can keep going farther if you want. And you can, but I would not suggest this. Well, you can do from here to Barra Grande to Macapá if you want as well. But Barra Grande, a lot of people hear about it. I think it's totally overrated. But there's a bus stop right there as well if you would like. Barra Grande, there's not much to the town. Also, if you're not right on the beach, it's extremely hot because of the angle of the wind. Macapá, right there. But just after that, there is a delta. You can also take buses from these areas as well and stop right here. That's basically the last option before it gets dangerous. And do not go, if you're going past Bitupita, and you're out on the water and you see this big point out in the ocean with all these rocks and stuff, don't go past it. You could die. Because just past this, you could take your bus to safety and return from Panaiba. There is a delta. And basically, it can be very, 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 very dangerous. So don't do it unless you're doing it with me or if you're doing it with Dada. You guys do it with us during low tide, you'll live. But there's also a cool thing out here. There's an island of caju. Now, right there, Ilha de Caju. Thousands and thousands and thousands of cajus. Let me find you a picture of caju real quick. Okay, hang on. It's literally what cashew nuts come from. But cashew nuts look totally different from what you are used to seeing them as. Let me see if this will work. I don't think it will. But Jesus. Actually, I guess I could just go to Google. This is what cashews literally look like. They look like they come on this fruit. It's my second favorite fruit. They grow just like that. What do you know? And that's the cashew nut. You cannot eat the cashew nut, though, because it will kill you. You would have to cook it. But these fruits are the juiciest fruits of all time. Only grow during the dry season. Look at that. Oop. Lucky guy. Very good fruit. They kind of leave a kind of funny texture in your mouth as well. But after Parnaíba and all of that, you can come to Tutoia. Tutoia has bus options as well. But if you're going all the way to Tutoia, you should really do your downwinder. Very good quality because it's curved up right here, all the way to Achins. And basically, you're going to see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of windmills along the way, right here. Keep on going. Hundreds and hundreds of windmills. And there's one spot where it opens up like that. Don't be fooled by that first one. You want to pass, also right there, my bad, that's what I meant, right there. And there's Baby Lençóis right there. But if you're going all the way to Achins, you want to pass hundreds and hundreds of windmills. You cannot miss it. And then eventually, when you get over here, you're going to curve in. You will see kites, for sure. And you're going to curve in, and then you can come to Achins, and then you can take your boat to Barreirinhas to Fortaleza to Caucaia via taxi, Caucaia to Cumbuco. Thing to note, this bus is only on Fridays. And don't be fooled by the old bus stop. I had to update it because the new, this one right here, is closed. The bus stop is actually right here. But there's only buses returning from Barreirinhas/Achins on Fridays. So make sure you time that up right. So, Barreirinhas, Maranhão to Fortaleza. And you can see all these days, but if we do it on a Friday, oops, not bad. Maybe oh, wow, maybe there's, oh, because this is a holiday weekend, probably. Hang on. To Fortaleza. We'll just say right there. So there are buses on Fridays, but not on any other day. Oh, maybe there's one on, okay, new options as well. Maybe there's ones on Sundays. I guess we're growing. Okay, there you go. But make sure you check. If you're going to go all the way to Achins, make sure you check the days returning by bus, or else you're going to pay a whole ton of money returning by what they call transfers. So, basically, I think that covers everything. If not, I'll put in the link in the description below. Very first video of YouTube. So as they say, like, subscribe, and hope you enjoyed it. Supposedly, if you like and subscribe, it helps out the channel. I don't really care, but yeah. And if you want all of these drop pins, essentially, send me a message, link down below, to either PayPal, because that's international, because I'm not doing all this stuff for free. But $5 if you want all of these all these drop pins. Basically, Brazil Downwind. Oop, hang on. All of these thingies. Well, you know what I mean. If you want all these things to your phone, $5. Unless you're from Argentina, $10 for you, because you guys like inflation so much. Ciao, ciao. Oop, and now I'm trying to end the video because we're doing this in one take. No editing. Hang on. Oop. I guess we'll just end it there.